He put his faith in Christ at an early age of 8. Just a few years later, he told his father he felt like he would someday have to preach. For some time, he struggled with accepting the call. He once said in the early years of his ministry, he thought he had made a mistake because no one was responding, and he felt his messages were falling on deaf ears. He prayed and felt like the Lord directed him to a certain passage of Scripture. Today, he feels like a pastor is to be the sower of the seed. The best thing to do is preach on and lead the results to God.
There's a saying that goes something like this: if God calls you, then He'll qualify you.
Born Randy Lehman Sellers on December 10, 1958 in Coleman, Alabama to Lehman and Mary Sellers. He was the first of 3 children. During his childhood, he never gave a lot of trouble.
He was a very good baby, no problems. And he's always been a good boy, pretty good. And we had one close call with him when he was young and thought we was going to lose him, but the Lord pulled him through that.
He may have been a little confused on how to dress early in life, but he seemed to rebound and turn out to be 100% boy and loved to do what little boys do.
He loved to dig in a creek or play in a pond or something like that.
Catch tadpoles.
And catch tadpoles, and he loved wild animals.
Randy attended Logan Elementary School and West Point High School. Randy and his father would often ride out through the pasture when he had something weighing on his mind. Before he accepted the call to preach, he thought the Lord was calling him to be a missionary.
He come to me one day. We used to like to ride off in the pasture together, and especially when he had a problem, and we'd talk about it. So one day we rode in the pasture, and he told me that he believed the Lord was calling him to be a missionary. And he said, I want you to pray about it. We talked about it a good bit. And I prayed about it. And a few days later, I come back and we went off in the pasture. And I told him I thought I had an answer. And I told him I believe that maybe the Lord wanted him to commit to it. That he'd just have to tell the Lord that whatever he wanted him to do, if he'd make it possible to happen, that he was willing. And from that, he said he never did think about it anymore. I mean, the thought of being a missionary had left him.
He was student council president his senior year of high school and was a likable guy who always had a lot of friends. He graduated from West Point High School in 1977. By this time, he not only loved the outdoors, he also had a love for the girls, one in particular. A little girl born February the 9th, 1961 in Lorain, Ohio, to Jimmy and Betty Box would be the girl he would fall in love with. Donna Sue Box would grow up loving music. She excelled in music to the point that she began teaching others while she was still a teenager.
I was born in Lorain, Ohio, February the 9th, 1961. St. Joseph Catholic Hospital.
Donna started in music, taking piano lessons at a young age. The first lessons that I remember paying for was 50 cents a lesson. It was a Miss Cleghorn. I can remember not ever having to tell her to go practice your piano, Donna, to go practice. She just liked to play. She loved to play the piano and loved to practice.
She started playing the piano at the church regular when she was about 14. She was in junior high school. She was our church pianist.
Donna attended Addison High School where she played in the band and was a cheerleader. She was an overachiever in everything she did. She met her future husband while she was in the 11th grade and finished salutatorian of her class in 1979. Randy would have more than one prom date, but the little girl from Addison would prove to be the right choice for him.
That's the way the Lord works, in other words. That everything was planned, and I've thought many times about Donna liking to play the piano and taking music so early. That was planned. The Lord knew that she was going to be married, I think, to a preacher. And she would need to play the piano.
On the 9th of March, 1979, they were united in marriage at Addison First Baptist Church in Addison, Alabama. They were ready to make a life for themselves. Within 2 years, they would start their own family by the birth of their first son. Joshua Randall Sellers was born on September the 2nd, 1980, followed 3 years later with the addition of Cassie Elizabeth Sellers, born November the 8th, 1983. Randy would stay up late at night studying the Bible and would wake Donna up to tell her that the Lord was calling him to do something, but he didn't want to preach. He tried working on committees at church and teaching Sunday school. He had many conversations with other preachers and finally accepted the Lord's call. He really knew what it was all along, but just didn't think he could ever be a preacher. Using the land his parents gave him, he supported his family by being a poultry farmer. He was serving as a bivocational pastor at Friendship Baptist Church when a church across the county began searching for a full-time pastor. Some people would say it was luck, but we believe it was God's will for Randy and Donna to serve at Mount Zion because as the pulpit committee began searching, Bill Burks and Randy's sister Nina were co-workers.
We are going to try to explore our steps of when we called Brother Randy to our church and how we were able to get a hold of him and see what his thoughts was and invite him to come and see our facilities and see if he was interested in coming. I worked with his sister at the water department and in discussion that we were looking for a pastor. She said, I can really recommend a real good one. Said he happened to be my brother, but said he'd definitely be worth looking at. And from that conversation, I brought it up to the deacon board and the committee, and we went to his house and talked to him and see if he would be interested in coming. And it so happened at that time our pastorum was empty, so we invited him to come and see it in the church and thus and also preach for us at the time. And we were so impressed with him. The only thing that we were concerned about, he was young at the time. And
he's had a wonderful group of deacons that's helped him so much.
Yeah.
Taught him so
Loves his
much.
deacons.
Because when he went there, he was pretty new and
Yeah.
he needed some guidance.
by the deacon board being of some older folks, we felt like that wouldn't be any problem, which it wasn't. We had access to some former pastors and inner pastors there, which was a helping hand, and it all worked out. Seemed like just like we asked the Lord to guide us, and so He came and seen our church and all that we had, and was real impressed. But we were also impressed with the decision that he wasn't making real quick. He said, now it'll take me some time to pray about this and study before I can make the move that I'm making, because of the setup he had his farm and all, and chicken houses. So, but anyway, everything worked just better than we thought it could, because he did come and everybody was so pleased with him and still are.
In August of 1991, Randy and his family moved to the Welty community in the pastoralium of Mount Zion Baptist Church.
I first accepted the call to Mount Zion Baptist Church in 1991. I remember moving out that summer, and my first service to service pastor was, I believe, the 8th of September. And it was a big decision, tough decision for us, moving from the farm, having to leave all that we knew and come here to a new place. But the church agreed to be very helpful, and they were. Everything the church has ever told me they would do, they did and more. And I thank God for the opportunity of serving.
Randy and Donna Sellers have been serving at Mount Zion faithfully for 20 years. Donna was nominated to be the church pianist shortly after they came to Mount Zion. She has served as Sunday school teacher, vacation Bible school teacher, and is an active member of the church choir.
The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, and trembles at his voice. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God.
Becoming a full-time pastor allowed Brother Randy to devote more time in serving the Lord. In June of 1998, he graduated from Athens State University with a bachelor's degree in religion and a minor in psychology. During the time Randy and Donna have been at Mount Zion, the church has grown physically and spiritually under the leadership of Brother Randy. He is thankful he has been given the opportunity to minister to the people he sincerely loves. Some are here and some are gone, but the impact of Mount Zion's members on the lives of Randy and Donna has been positive. The whole family has served the Lord at Mount Zion. Josh is now married with 2 children and was elected to serve as deacon and now serves as youth director at Holly Pond First Baptist Church. He has recently accepted the call to preach. Cassie, now married with 1 child, has been active in the church in teaching and serves in the choir alongside her mother. All through the decade after the turn of the century, the church has continued to grow with buildings, renovations, and a new sanctuary. The deacons started a family ministry program to help Brother Randy with the growing congregation. The church also started a program called Grow. God rewards our work in order to spread the gospel to the community. Under the leadership of Brother Randy, the members of Mount Zion will continue to be a steadfast body for many years. When asked what you are the most proud of over the last 20 years at Mount Zion, Brother Randy's reply was, "I don't know if I could pick one thing. I am very thankful for the people who have made decisions for Christ and for those whom I have been able to see their Christian growth and maturity. I am thankful for the friendship of so many people in Mount Zion and the Welty community. I am thankful that Mount Zion has put up with me for 20 years and I still have a little of my hair." Brother Randy continues to pray and make every effort in leading the church in a way pleasing to God, to present sound doctrine in all that's done.
James 3. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation.
He has said more than once he sometimes thinks of how he will be judged by how he leads the church. Brother Randy and Donna, we are blessed to have you at Mount Zion Church. Brother Andy, you have such a great tender heart and a genuine love for the Lord and this church. May God bless you both as we look forward to many more years of serving the Lord together.